Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle then for another match preview on the channel. And it's the Bobby D CORDOVA-REID derby on Wednesday night. Leicester City travel to Aston Gate to take on Bristol City. Can the Foxes get back-to-back wins then? As this run up to Christmas now comes thick and fast to the festive period of games. And yeah, great win against Derby County as Leicester silenced the Rams, and Oliver Skipp even scored after 2 years and 10 months without a goal. Oliver Skipp volleyed home, sent the away days into the limbs. Guys, as always, we do apologise that we're late. Annie did send his apologies, so when I messaged him, I said, "Are you there?" He said, "Give me 5 minutes." So yeah, I put it in the chat. He is here, so we'll get a good chat with him. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. Please get down and do so. If you're a Bristol City fan, let me know your predictions as well. Sorry about that. The ring doorbell. I know Steve seems to tell me off about that quite a lot. Right, let's use in the chat. Rich, how are we, mate? Looking forward to a game again. Amazing what beating Derby can do. Well, I think it was a much-needed win. If we can back it up on Wednesday, we mean business. Evening, Rich. Evening, Phil. TF Whistle is always worth waiting for. Well, we try our best on this channel. So, greetings, Terry. Ross, more like the Andy King derby. Leicester legend, Bristol City fan, and ended his career at Bristol City, and now a coach at Leicester. Well, he did do coaching at Bristol City, Ross. Evening, everyone. How are we, Paul? What a day Saturday. Took us on a magical mystery tour to Costa. Well, we got there in the end, didn't we? You know, a bit of a magic hat, out of the wand, and we appeared with a nice coffee or frappe, whatever you drink. It's nice. But right, let's get it underway then. Get my guest in. Arnie Harris from, I think it's Robin's Talk. Arnie, how are we, mate?
I'm good, yeah. Wrong side round. I'm good. Yeah, sorry for being late, everyone. Completely my fault. Internet decided to die as soon as I popped out the shower, so sorry about that.
That's all right, mate. Arnie, where can we find you, mate? Obviously, last time I spoke to you, I think you did Robin's Talk, didn't you, on your channel? Have you changed it up a bit now, or still the same?
Yeah, it's just my name now. So changed it a little bit. Just my name, which is wrong finger. That Annie Harris. You can find me on YouTube. Yeah.
Arnie, talk to me about Bristol City, mate. Where did your love first start from, mate? And who's your all-time fave?
Oh God, that's a good question. Well, I moved here and then moved to Bristol, and then I was just kind of hooked by it all. So
yeah,
was a bit of an easy decision. Got hoodwinked by Bristol City, and then it's been a bit of a love-hate relationship, more hate than love, but yeah, you stick with it, and yeah, I've obviously loved every moment of it. Loved the football club, and it's obviously unbelievable to just follow it. So yeah, don't know how to answer that question apart from just happened.
Who's your all-time favourite player?
Right, so I'm going to show my age here, and you know what? I'll go for a current player because it feels unfair.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll go for Jason Knight because I love Jason Knight and he's great. So and he was involved in a nice little brawl on Saturday against Millwall. So Yeah, I'll say Jason Knight.
Fair enough. Bit controversy against Millwall, but there we go. Let's talk about the manager. Struber has come in, started really well. He's got you 7th in the table. He's got you winning 8 games, 5 draws, 6 defeats. You've scored 26, conceded 21, 29 points. You're a point off the playoffs, just behind Stoke City. What's been your thoughts on the season so far, mate, under Struber? What's the German been like as a manager?
I was obviously really disappointed with Liam Manning leaving last season. I think we've had 2 manager changes, Jack, since the last time we spoke. So there we go.
So have
yeah,
we.
so
We've had 3.
yeah. So I was really disappointed with that whole situation. So I think I was probably a little bit unfair on Struber. Well, I would have been, I think, a little bit unfair on anyone who followed Liam Manning just because of how good last season was. It was going to be incredibly hard to replicate. But he has done all right. He's done a pretty decent job. And all of this has got to be caveated with the fact that we've had close to about 10 games in this season where we've had no players, basically. And we've had to play Zach Viner, who is arguably our best centre-back, definitely been the most consistent centre-back over the past 3 years for Bristol City. Basically, he's played every game for the last 3 years. He's had to play in midfield. Obviously, we've not had Jason Knight, who's our captain for a long part of this run. We've barely had any fullbacks. Defence has been changed a lot as well, and I'm sure it'll continue on Wednesday, where we'll play with we'll have Dickey and Viner, but George Tanner, we're missing Luke McNally, we're missing Rob Atkinson, we're missing some real players, real good players in that back line. So it's been all of the season so far has to be caveated with that, and you've got to give Struber, I think, a bit of a free pass for that. And even during that run where we had no players, we managed to pull out some good results. You would argue that some of the opponents we have played this season and we've won against, to be fair, have been relatively soft opponents. I'm thinking Norwich away, Sheffield Wednesday away, Sheffield United on the opening day. We played Southampton when they had Will Still. We played Hull. Hull maybe not so much, but you get the gist. Where we've had, generally we've had some all right fixtures, and now we're getting into a period of December, and everyone looked at December and went, "That is horrible. That is really horrible," because the fixture list, which started on Saturday against Millwall, and now Leicester, and then we've got Coventry away on the weekend, and then we've got Middlesbrough home, and we've got West Brom away, and then we've got Millwall away. This is, I think, where Struber really, we've got players back. I think this is where Struber now is really tested. I think I can make a real opinion on him. So it's a bit of a long-winded way of saying I don't really know what to make of him. The football's been better. In terms of it's been more front-footed, it's been pressing, high energy, the sort of Austrian mentality in him has come out, and it's been strong from the off, and it's been implemented quite quickly. But there have been other sides to the game where I've gone, what are we doing? That doesn't happen last season. Some of the defending this season has been interesting, to say the least. So, yeah, it's about finding that balance, I think. And hopefully with time, Struber can do that.
How do you think Bristol City's responded to, obviously, got to the playoffs, didn't you, last season? Obviously, a lot of fans are questioning how did Bristol City respond after the embarrassment they probably showed in the playoffs, to be fair. They took a battering, didn't they, against Coventry.
Caveat with the red card.
Sheffield United, sorry, yeah.
Red card after half an hour, which kills everything, I think.
Yeah. How do you think you've responded? Because you was probably one of the uncertain sides in the league of the playoff hoodoo after last season. Would you say you've responded quite well to it?
Yeah, I'd say we've done really well, actually. We had basically no change in the summer. We didn't really have to or did sell any of our sort of big assets in the summer. I'm thinking Jason Knight, Zach Viner, Max Bird, Ross McCrory, any of those players. We lost Naki Wells, who played a lot of games for City last year, and we lost George Murphy, who was very, very good second half of the season. So those were two sort of major-ish losses, but I think we've replaced them with a net positive in terms of we got Emil Rees in through the door, who's been all right. And well, Anson Murty and Scott Twine have stepped up, so George Murphy's presence hasn't been missed too much. But yeah, those were the two losses. So we've had a pretty stable transfer window and summer, apart from the manager leaving, which is obviously pretty big. But in terms of squad, we've been all right. So yeah, I've been really impressed. You have got to say the bar so far for the playoffs and the top two, apart from Coventry, and I'm sure you'll not like me saying that, apart from second place, has been, apart from Coventry, second place down in that sort of top 6, top 8 region.
Yeah.
It's been pretty poor. So how many points did you say we were on after 19 games?
29 points.
29 points, which is it's
all
right.
It's
Yes, but in terms of a projection, it's not great. It's not unbelievable. It's not a massive improvement on last season, but I think we've been relatively steady in terms of a points return. On the pitch, we've been anything but steady. We've been a bit erratic, we've been a bit chaotic, and we've been very inconsistent. But that's all sort of leveled out to a pretty reasonable start if you just look at the results on their own and what the output has been on the pitch.
I think the league this season's been interesting. It's probably took me by surprise, to be fair. People say it's a poor championship, it's poor quality, but the championship, I think teams have really upped their game. And anyone's beating anybody, and this is what's making it interesting. You look at the top. What is it? The top 6 at the minute. You got Stoke in there. You got Hull in there.
Preston and Millwall in there as well.
No, not Hull. Sorry, Preston, Ipswich, Millwall, Middlesbrough, Stoke. But if you go down to 9th, Hull's there. Birmingham, yourselves, QPR's in 10th. Between 10th and 6th, it's only 2 points. But if you go a bit more further down, from 11th down to about 15th, where Derby are 4 points behind the playoffs, and then obviously you caveat with Leicester, they're only 3 points, as well as Watford, Wrexham, and Southampton. So the only parachute payment side that is in the playoff spot at the minute is obviously Ipswich, which you'd expect with the quality they have got. Obviously, Ipswich have been very much hit and miss. They haven't been the consistent as you'd hope them to be. Southampton, change of manager seems to have done them well. Eckert seems to have been doing well for them. And then obviously Marty Cifuentes at Leicester come into a squad which I don't think anyone really handled last season. Big job on his hands. And then, it's been an interesting season as a Leicester fan. Not as well as we'd probably have expected. But what's been your thoughts this season on Leicester, Annie? Are you really surprised? What's obviously your thoughts on Jordan James?
Oh, Jordan James is brilliant. He's a great player. Just hope he doesn't turn up on Wednesday for no reason whatsoever. But no, he's a really good player, and he showed glimpses of that at Birmingham. So I'm not particularly surprised. He's gone in pretty good team in Leicester. Yes, underperforming at the minute, but on paper, pretty good, and has been very, very, very good. What have I made of Leicester? I don't know. You started quite well, didn't you? You were in around that playoff positions near the beginning of the season, very beginning of the season, very embryonic stages of it. You're sort of in around the playoffs, but it felt like you won a lot of games through worldies and individual qualities. Yeah. Remember Fatawu, Charlton. Remember Aaron Ramsey scored a couple of brilliant, ridiculous goals. It just felt like it was a little bit unsustainable, and that's maybe caught up to Leicester. But then I watched your game against Derby because that was the only kickoff, wasn't it? And then I was like, Christ, if they play like that for half an hour in games, they will win a lot of games in this division because they will just blow teams away. And when you've got Bobby Reid and Jordan James, and if Ollie Skip, I know maybe Ollie Skip isn't as popular in the Leicester fan base, but we've seen it in the Championship before with Norwich. If he's at it, he's going to boss that midfield. You've got some really, really good players. Mavididi, Fatawu, Jordan Ayew, I thought was really good on Saturday, actually. So you've got some really good players, and it's just a matter of can you mould them together. I suppose the other big thing looming over your heads is the points deduction, the potential points deduction, which I don't know. I don't know if you're knowledgeable about it, but apparently there was a hearing like last week or something, and something was going to happen, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know anything. So yeah, it's been weird. I feel like you're underperforming, yes, but the performances haven't really matched what I'd expect from Leicester. But maybe a Midlands derby win and the manner in which you won that game, especially in the first half, I think could be potentially a catalyst for you guys.
I think we've very much underperformed. Games that we've been leading, we've just kind of threw away and drew, basically. You know, teams that we should be beating in this league, your Oxfords, your Portsmouths, your Wrexhams. We've sort of faltered against. We've dropped points, and this is Leicester this season where teams have probably fancied it against us because of the way the squad has been. You know, you've got players who are not 100% committed. Your Fassis, your Harry Winkses, and players like that who are letting the team down. You know, you obviously want a team which is collectively 100% committed to wearing the shirt and giving everything for the badge. And that's what we've seen against Derby. They collectively actually showed up. We were surprised at Derby that when we went 1-0 up, we were thinking, okay, then can we sustain actually going and getting another goal and not throwing it away? But then we got the second goal, and then Oliver Skip scores an absolute beauty of a volley. And you just thinking, what is going on here? We've not seen this Leicester for a bloody long time. And then we get the third, and we're thinking, okay, well, this is the best first half I've seen in a long time. And we dominated Derby. We bossed that game in the first half. Derby just didn't know what hit them at that point. But that showed Leicester's quality, how good Leicester can be with 2 or 3 passes and we're in. That's the football we want to see as fans. That dedication, that commitment, that fight. And we got everything in the first half that we'd been wanting from them all season. But I think changing a few characters in there, Winks and Fass and that, I think it helped. You know, it took that negativity out of the team, you know, that he let them go and play freely. Obviously, he knew his job were under pressure. If he didn't get anything against Derby, but then he changed it, got the result, and it worked. And second half, for about seeing out the game, obviously, Derby's not going to just sit back, or they're just going to want to get a goal. They did, got the consolation goal. Leicester see it through professionally, and I thought we were outstanding. The team, every one of them, committed to the cause and left everything out on the pitch. And, you know, they were rightfully applauded it full time. And it's one that I think going against Bristol City on Wednesdays, it's obviously a tough game at Aston Gate. Obviously, we haven't bloody got the greatest of records coming to you lot, but I think it's something we can build on. The team spirit, the team morale is to say, you know, if we can work hard again in that first half and go and put in 2 first half performances from the Derby game into a 90-minute performance, we can go and win that game on Wednesday night. But yeah, we've obviously had the individuals. Jordan James, I think, has been excellent. 5 goals this season already. Passion. And I think you'd love 100 Jordan Jameses at Leicester as a fan and as players. So, yeah, but Marty, you know, I think it's been difficult for him. I think his hands have been tied, really, you know, like with the whole squad where the players that we want to get rid of, we have to play them so we can sell them in January because they're out of contract. I think it's that sort of situation with him where he's thought, you know what, I want to control this. It's not you telling me. And I think this is where he's been frustrated. He's not got what he wanted. But obviously, against Saturday, he did. So, talking about battles on the pitch, Annie, talk to me about Bristol City's full-time scenes at Millwall. What happened? It just absolutely kicked off. Where did it all start? And who started what?
getting multiple different answers of who started what and one word against the other. It's all great entertainment, and when a commentator says a thing like, "Oh, these are scenes we don't want to see." Yes, they absolutely are. Obviously, to a control limit, but handbags, nothing wrong with that. And yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the fact that we have, and I don't know if you've seen this, we have a perfectly good goal disallowed in the 95th minute for an equaliser. It's apparently called for offside. The linesman put his flag up pretty much straight away as soon as Ross McCrory gets his head on it. And
Yeah.
I think most of us, so me on the telly watching it, were going, okay, yeah, probably was offside then if he's put his flag up that early. He probably has strayed a little bit offside. We get the replay back, and he is not offside in the slightest. So that costs us a point. That probably really builds up the tension. And then, apparently Alex Neil didn't shake hands with Struber. That's what Struber's saying. And then Alex Neil is saying Struber put his hand out, but then took it back. So it's all just all a bit childish and a bit silly. But then Jason Knight comes over and decides to shove Alex Neil in the chest. David Livermore, then who the Millwall assistant, puts his arms around Jason Knight's neck, which is, very, very interesting. He then ends up on the floor. Joe Williams, who's been injured for about 6 months for Bristol City, he somehow joins in all of this. So God knows where he's come from. He's not in the matchday squad, just decides to join in the punch up. And then, Harry Cornick has a swing at someone. It's just an almighty mess. I'm sure both teams, Millwall and Bristol City, will get an absolutely hefty fine in the near future because of that. But yeah, just weird. And also, to add to that, all of this, we play Millwall later this month, so that trip to the Den is going to be, very, very spicy.
I seen it when I'd got back from Derby. I was wondering what's happening at bloody Bristol City. They said there's some sort of handbags. And then they started showing it, and it was just a big kerfuffle. I think Ivanovic were down in the box, and then you just see the Millwall player leave.
Yeah, Ballo, wasn't it? Yeah, Ballo.
I don't know. It's one of them. It's just push and shove, and you know what it's like when tensions rise and one push leads to another, and then everyone just gets involved. It's just one big melee. The referee and the officials have just got to go and sort it out, and they've got to go and break it up. And that's probably the most fight you've probably seen on the pitch from Bristol City at the weekend.
Quite literally, yeah.
To be honest, I think I had it down as a draw, but then I thought maybe it could go either way, 1-0. Millwall, great at home. I haven't really hit it away from home this season, but Ivanovic did get the goal, did he, in the end? More action in that game than the Ben and Eubank fight. Yeah, well, this is it, you see. It probably would have been better as a boxing match on Box Office, that one. Let's get into the game, Manny. Bristol City versus Leicester, the Battle of the Cities on Wednesday night. Let's have a look at the last head-to-head. So, Bristol City won 1-0 last time you played us. 29th of March, 2024.
Remember that very well.
Jamie Vardy missed some sitters in that game, by the way.
He missed about 4 one-on-ones, didn't he? Yeah.
We should have had
we gave the ball to him a couple of times in our own box and decided to miss even after that.
But then second half, the rain came down, and I believe it.
Oh yes, it did.
Mehmeti scored.
Mehmeti, yeah, super goal with his left foot as well. Yeah,
goal.
Yeah.
You expecting some sort of that performance going into Wednesday night from Bristol City? How do you think you'll fare against Leicester?
I expect a reaction.
Okay.
I think we need a reaction from Saturday. I think we were hard done by in a lot of ways. Obviously, the refereeing decision at the end, and the fact that ultimately we missed a load of chances in that game and should have got something from it. So a reaction in the sense of felt a little bit, unjust to not get anything. Go back at home at Aston Gate. Can we go and do something? So I expect us to be a little bit fired up for it. And we normally start games really well and on the front foot and high pressing, high intensity, high energy, all these cliche words you have with the pressing managers. But we normally do that in the opening sort of 20 minutes. We benefited from that greatly at Portsmouth just a couple of games ago. Yeah, where we won 1-0 and were brilliant for the opening 20 minutes. Best I've seen us this season, actually. So if we can emulate that and we can get a goal and take one of the chances that comes our way, and hopefully a Mehmeti or a Twine or a Reese can get one of those chances and finish it, I think we could go and win the game. But I think a lot of it is down to those opening 20 minutes, because unfortunately we have had a tendency of starting well and then it slowly peters out, and then if we concede, we have a little bit of a reaction and go again. But generally we peter out as the game goes, and we don't really want that, especially at home where all the games we've lost, it's been a bit, we started well, we haven't scored, and now we concede, and now we lose the game. So that's what unfortunately has happened. It's just about can we score the first goal. I think the first goal really, really important in this game.
I'd agree. I think if we can go and put the performance in the first half from the Derby game, I think we get a few goals in the first half. I think with us, in a sense, this season, Annie, is the case that we don't start off well in the first half and then we do well in the second half. It's been very much that game in them sort of games. But I want to see a 90-minute performance where we're battling against Bristol City. I'd very much keep the same team. Obviously, we know your danger man, Mehmeti, Scott Twine, players who can cause Leicester all sorts of problems. But then you look at what Leicester's got. You've got, obviously, you guys are going to stick 2 players on Abdul Fatawu. But then obviously we've got
I'd be surprised if we didn't.
We've got the excellence of Jordan James. I think Mavadidi's really stepped up his game. I think the boys are going to be buoyant going into this, thinking, you know what, that Derby game's something to build on. It's a good win. We've got to go and back it up and do our talking on the pitch again. Ben Nelson, fantastic against Derby. I think I'm hoping more from him, a more consistent run of games. And I think we've just got to be. I think maybe set pieces. That big defender at corners, is that the Bristol City one?
Probably Rob Dickey you're mentioning there. Who's a bit of a lump, can get his head on corners. Not scored anywhere near as many goals from corners as he probably needs to. A kid in the last 2 seasons, but yeah, he can cause problems.
Yeah. I think the first goal's key for Wednesday night. Like I said, Leicester don't really travel well to Bristol City, to be fair. I've been Bristol City a few times. I have seen Chris Wood score a hat-trick at Bristol City. But then I've also bloody seen us lose and bloody Nicky Maynard scores. So, yeah. And that's talking a long time ago, by the way. That shows my age of when Chris Wood were at Leicester. So, my apologies. But no, it's a game that if we win, we obviously go over Bristol City. We sit 14th, you sit 7th. So both sides want to get something out of the game. Bristol City got the most clean sheets in the Championship. So, I think this is a...
Do we actually?
Well, according to FootMob, you've got the most clean sheets.
Oh, that's surprising. Right, Christ. That's really surprising, actually. It's taking me back a bit.
Let me just check.
Should it be like Coventry or something, or Middlesbrough?
Let me just check the league. Clean sheets, Bristol City 7. Coventry's got 7 and Millwall's got 7, but it's put you guys top. So...
Okay. Interesting.
It is interesting. Bristol City FootMob rating 6.97. So you're up there with Coventry. Does that surprise you though, or do you think you have like have been quite good, or do you think they've probably made you a little bit more better? Do you believe in like stats when you look at games, Annie?
I don't look at player ratings and such. I think that's just a bit whatever. I do look at other stats. I think looking at the underlying data is important. Predicting or trying to predict trends and stuff is important, and a lot of it will show that we've been quite good this season. Yes, it will show that we've been, sort of top 6 standards, especially going forward and creating chances. We're pretty decent at that. We have a lot of shots, but it's just the eye test. Sometimes I go, have we been? There have been some wins, and I've said as much on the channel, so there's not hindsight or anything. I've said as much after the game where I've gone, have we performed that well, or have we just sort of taken our chances when they've come? So I'm not overly surprised, because I did kind of know we were kind of up there, but I was quite surprised at the clean sheets one. I will say we looked quite open at points defensively, but yeah, always good to be at the top for the clean sheets.
Yeah, we don't keep clean sheets, I'm afraid. I think we've only got 3 this season, so it sums up how many goals we've conceded. In the last 4...
One more coming in Wednesday, then.
In the last 4 at Aston Gate, you guys have won 3. We've won 1. Like I said, the last time we won at Aston Gate was 2013. We've had a 1-0 for you lot, a 4-0 for us, a 3-2 Bristol City, and we've had a 2-0 Bristol City. So, like I say, the records speak for itself, but hopefully we can overturn that voodoo on Wednesday night. What's your thoughts on Marty Cifuentes? Obviously, you'd have watched him probably at QPR. I know he's got a decent record, hasn't he, against Bristol City. What have you made of him?
That's just come to my mind. That something funny. Literally 5 minutes before we kicked off against Millwall, I saw Alex Neil on like a TV on the screen, and I went, "Oh my god! I forgot he was manager of Millwall. He always beats us." So yeah, that just put that thought into my mind. And guess what? Millwall beat us. So, yeah, Marcin Fuentes I think he's a very good manager. I think he was it was a bit weird at QPR last season, because he had really good runs, really bad runs, and then really good runs. And it was at one point QPR were really, really sort of in the relegation zones. I think they were bottom of the league after like 10 or something games, and they went on a massive winning run, and they went up to about 7th, and it was looking like I remember the game. It was actually, they won away at Hull, QPR, last season, and they went up to 7th, and we all thought, right, this is where Marcin Fuentes is going to show that he's actually a really, really good manager. And then it just fell off again, and they went into mid-table and just kind of went sour. He obviously was brilliant in that miracle escape job and keeping QPR up after Gareth Ainsworth's disastrous appointment. So yeah, I think he's a good manager. I think at Leicester, where he should have better players than what he had at QPR, a better squad, team that's just been relegated from the Premier League, some powerful players for this division, should have Leicester sort of right in the top of the division. So I am a little bit surprised he's not doing as well as he probably should, because he was quite adaptable at QPR as well in terms of his style of play.
I think he had to be a bit more pragmatic, though.
Yeah, he had to be a bit more pragmatic, but he didn't. I don't think he wanted to play in that manner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's a good manager. I thought he'd be a decent fit for Leicester. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he's not doing as well as he probably should. But yeah, I don't know. I quite rate Marcin Fuentes. I think he's a good manager.
Let's talk about this man, Bobby Reid. Do you know what, right? He's been loved everywhere he's gone. Cardiff, Bristol City, Fulham, Leicester. It's been frustrating. He's a good championship player, I think, Bobby Reid, and obviously showed it with you guys. Fulham in the championship, Cardiff. How much love do Bristol City fans have for Bobby Reid?
Yeah, a lot of love. I think he's going to get a very good reception on Wednesday. If he plays, presumably he will. similar to Josh Brownhill in a lot of ways, where it was kind of like, yeah, go, fine, whatever. And he did go to Cardiff, which is a bit of a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
But he did really well at Fulham. So he's clearly he's just a very good player and dependable, reliable, can play multiple positions. Played right wing back, I think, at points for Fulham. So the guy is clearly a very good player, and he was fantastic for Bristol City. I mean, just what more could you ask for from Bobby Reid? And this will be the first time. I think I lie. No, I do lie. It's not the first time he'll come back to Aston Gate. I think he played for Fulham a couple of times at Aston Gate, from memory, if my memory is right. But yeah, it'll be good to have him. Good to have him back at Aston Gate, and hopefully get a proper reception from the City fans. And despite him again going to Cardiff, I think he's still very well liked within the fan base.
Has he scored against Bristol City yet, by any chance?
I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet.
It's always Wednesday night, Bobby. So if you're watching me, I want to see Annie's face when it goes in. Now, do you know what? In the number 10 role, I think he's been fantastic. He's done a job for us this season, Bobby Reid. I think he's been one of our decent players, to be fair, in the squad. He gives 100%. He's got that passion about him, that real fire in his belly, and he works hard. He proved it against Derby with a goal that he scored. Came off the bench against West Brom, volleyed it, and then obviously Nat Phillips put it in the back of his net. And do you know what, Bobby Reid? I mean, even on this day a year ago, he scored the absolute late equaliser against Brighton, and that were absolute seeds, by the way. So, do you know what? I think he's a good championship player. I think he's a good squad player to have, where, the experience that he's got in this league. I think he offers so much. I think he can offer a bit of leadership as well, probably something that we've been missing. So, yeah, I think he'll get a good reception from you lot. Before we move on to team, let's have a look at foot in both camps. So Nigel Pearson is the manager. I've chose for foot in both camps. Nigel Pearson at Bristol City. What do you reckon? How did he get on? Because he's a bloody god at Leicester, Nigel Pearson, for everything he did.
Yeah, so it's been a couple of years since Pearson left Bristol City, and I think you've got to look at it from a pretty positive perspective, actually, for Nigel Pearson. Stabilised us when we looked like we were sort of in a downward spiral towards League One. Didn't have any money to spend for the first couple of years at City. Had to sign, the likes of Matty James, Andy King, etc., but was always really, really composed. Just that sort of figurehead of City. So, yeah, did a fantastic job at Bristol City. I think it was probably the right time for him to go, and probably felt very, very different at the time. But with obviously Manning coming in after him, following him, and then obviously what Manning did last season, I think Pearson set pretty much not all the foundations, but a lot of the foundations were set by Nigel Pearson. I mean, the likes of George Tanner in this team, Zach Viner playing consistently wasn't under Nigel Pearson. Jason Knight was signed under Nigel Pearson, so you've got some players there who are Nigel Pearson players, Mehmeti as well. So you've got the core of the squad, which is ultimately signed under Pearson. I have no resentment towards him, actually. Actually, quite like him. I think he's quite entertaining at points, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, speaks his mind.
Remember when I think it might have been even after we won a game, where he said he's going to quit because the referees were so bad or something. It's peak Nigel Pearson. So yeah, brilliant from. He's just done a very, very good job. Very steady. Sort of built us gradually up the league table, and then there was that final push for the foundations that he laid. Obviously, not to the extent of what Leicester did, where Pearson left and he left the foundations for Ranieri to then go on and win the league. Obviously, we didn't do that. But obviously the highest finish we've had in 2 decades, or nearly 2 decades, a lot of it was down to Nigel Pearson. So he kind of passed the baton on to Liam Manning, and for that I think he'll always be sort of fine with him for that. So yeah, just a entertaining guy who did a very good job at City.
Strong-minded character, I'd say, Nigel Pearson. He's very much straight to the point. No holding back. You know what you're going to get from him. And it was nice to see when he come back to Leicester with Bristol City. Obviously, he brought King back with him and Matty James, and that reunion was fantastic. I think Dave Rennie were there as well. So, yeah, we're good. Obviously did wonders at Leicester, laid the foundation for what was going to come that season after the Great Escape. Pearson's hard work, it was noticed. And, over 2 spells, he was successful. And, he was a manager who'd take the pressure off his players. He'd always know how to deal with the media. The media wouldn't dare sit down with a bloke like that because they know what's coming. He'd even call him an ostrich. It's just one of them, and that's the way you love him, isn't it? Everywhere he's gone, I think he's done well. So, Philip Benkovic is another one. Annie, Greg Cunningham.
That's the name.
Yeah. How did them players get on at Bristol?
Well, Philip Benkovic was here for a very, very short time, and it was a weird one actually, because he played really well for a little bit on loan, and then I can't remember if he got injured or just didn't get played after that. He's got a cracking goal against Stoke, I remember.
About 10 appearances for you lot, I think he did, is what's on here. We sent him out on loan a few times. He just never cut the mustard at Leicester.
He was quite good at City for a little bit, and then he must have got injured, I think, for City, and then he just didn't play, unfortunately. And then I remember he went on loan to Cardiff the season after and didn't play there either. So yeah, it was a weird one, Benkovic, because I thought he was actually really, really good for City, but yeah, just a weird
one. Let's have a look. What else we got? Neil Dans.
That is behind my time. I'll talk to you about Matty James, though, if you want.
Good midfielder. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Matty James is the next one on the list under Bobby D. CORDOVA-REID, we've already discussed. So discuss to me Ben Hamer and Matty James.
Well, Ben Hamer must not have played many. Hang on, let me have a look. I don't think he was that influential at City, but I will talk to you about Matty James. Matty James was, just very, very good for City. Yeah, had a season for City on the bench on Ben Hamer. Matty James was very, very good for City. He was one of those players alongside Andy King who was brought in and was part of that rebuilding job under Nigel Pearson. Obviously, Pearson and King and James know each other very well. So, and he was really good at Barnsley the season before. So, yeah, just a very, very good player. Just very solid. Just very reliable. Keeps the ball so well. Was captain for a long while at City as well. So, yeah, him, his scissor kick at Millwall will always be remembered, where in the last minute at the Den. So, yeah, just a really, really good player. And actually, I think he got a really good reception at Wrexham when we played them earlier in the season. So, yeah, again, another one who's just really well liked at Bristol City.
Good midfielder, Matty James. It was just a shame his injuries done him at Leicester. He had a big injury, which hindered him in the end. So, yeah, Leicester fans love Matty James. Always gets a good reception. Andy King, obviously, he's on the coaching staff now at Leicester under Marty. Great midfielder. Love him. I know he's a Bristol City fan, isn't he, as well, Andy King? He obviously went back home, didn't he, in the end to Bristol City. And when we played you at Aston Gate, last time we visited, we gave him a good reception. We sang his song and, gave him the applaud that he is, because he's a club legend for Leicester. Did many things for this club, gave us some great moments, and absolutely adored. What was he like at Bristol City?
Again, very reliable, very dependable at points. Had to play centre back for a little bit. A City as well. Again, just another one that Nigel Pearson trusted really well. So yeah, again, Andy King, I think, gave us 3 seasons, maybe 2 seasons, 3 seasons, I think. Was just really good for City. It's very dependable. Again, yeah, very reliable, and that's what you'd expect from Andy King at Championship level. So yeah, no, again, another one who was part of that rebuild under Pearson. So yeah, again, quite very much like Andy King.
Good player, Richard Silko Thomas, mate. Are Bristol City getting any suspensions for Wednesday's game?
No.
No.
Unfortunately for you, no. Fortunately for us, yes.
Richard wants
Fortunately for us, fortunately for us, we are not getting any suspensions because if that would mean, Christ, Jason Knight would be out, and that would not be good in the slightest. So no suspensions for City.
Yep. Leo Moore, Ryan McGiven, Mark Robbins. They would have been well before your time, I'm afraid.
Well, I can talk to you about Mark Robbins, the manager.
Mark Robbins, the manager, mate. Done all right. Danny Simpson. Danny Simpson at Bristol City.
Let's move on. I think the less we talk about Danny Simpson, the better.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, he played about, I want to say about 7 games in total for City. We signed him midway through a season. 8 games, sorry. Midway through a season, and then
21. I think it would have been when Brendan Rodgers were here.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and we had Pearson. So he was part of that rebuild. He was less successful part of that rebuild. He got signed midway through a season, got renewed for the next season, and I remember he had a performance away at West Brom, which will live long in the memory for all the wrong reasons, and that was his final game. Thank God for Bristol City.
Oh,
where literally he's on the halfway line. He's got no pressure around him. He turns to give it back to the goalkeeper. Completely undercooks it and gives it straight to an Albion player. And yeah, I think that's just the worst. One of the worst signings I think we've had in recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the worst signings we've had. Yeah.
Chris Wheel, decent goalkeeper for Leicester. Obviously another one probably before your time. Chris Wood. So scored a hat-trick at Aston Gate. Was a good striker for Leicester in the Championship. Chris Wood. Obviously he's scoring goals for them lot up the road now. Played for Bristol City 2011. So I remember Chris Garland was a long time ago. Let's have a look at the teams going into this. So Bristol City last game played a 3-5-2. They had Vitek in goal, Tanner, Dickett, Viner, Sykes, Knight, Randall, Mamete, Borges, Scott Twine and Jacobson. Any changes do you think Struble will make on Wednesday night?
It's difficult because we haven't got a ton of options. We've got more options than we did a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. I could potentially see Ross McCrory come in on that right-hand side. I'm trying to think who's actually available for Bristol City. You've got Hugh Hirakawa who could come in as well. I doubt Cam Pring will start. Maybe Sinclair Armstrong starts ahead of Emil Rees because he's been a little bit off it, Emil Rees, recently. But yeah, it's hard. You've got a few options there which you could change, but I'd say maximum about 3 changes if we are to see any changes at all. I think he will be prioritising this game over the one at Coventry, purely because there's more of an opportunity to get 3 points than away at Coventry. So maybe we see a couple of changes, but no, I can't see too much happening in the way of changes, purely because we can't really make them.
Annie, if you want to give us 3 points on Wednesday, mate, take 3 points off them lot down the road, I'd happily oblige you, mate. I'll shake your hand now if you're not going to go and take 3 points off them. It'd be fantastic. Music to my ears, my friend. Leicester's team, I think we'll stay with the same team. I think the only one who really will come out of the team is Ricardo, because he don't play midweek. So I think that'll be the only change I think he'll make. Potentially could see Silko Thomas, Caleb Okoli could play. Maybe we switch to a 3 at the back. Maybe we try something like that. Maybe we'll have to wait and see what Marty's got ahead of this one. The final question is then the score prediction. What you got?
So I released my championship predictions earlier on today, so go check that out.
I will do. Yeah.
And I went for a 1-1, which I think might be slightly optimistic, honestly. But we are quite inconsistent, and inconsistency recently has showed us that we lost the last game, so we must win this game, logically, obviously. So, yeah, watch us lose 3-0 now.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah,
I don't know how. Yeah, I think it's just all going to be down. I think really early on in the game. I think that's all where it's going to sort of be decided, or a large proportion of the game is going to be decided. I think if we have a good start, get a goal early on, we could win the game. But yeah, I think my worry is if we don't make that fast start, or we don't score an early goal, could get caught out by Leicester's quality, which we really don't want to be chasing a game at home. So yeah, I went for the draw, just sit on the fence and have a bit of a cop out, to be honest.
Richard says, I said this before, I say it before the Derby game, looked at the two teams, it's all mental at part of Leicester's side. We should win this game. We will if our heads are right. So it's about mentality. If we can pick the right mentality as we did at the weekend, I think we can go and win at Bristol City on Wednesday night. Yeah, first goal's key. If we can get that first goal, then I think we can go on and win the game. And we all start to play better. We did against Derby. We're far more quicker. We battled for everything. That's something I know we've got to do, because this Bristol City team ain't a walkover. They'll battle against it. So hopefully we're up for that. I'm going, in my predictions, I went 2-0 Leicester. So I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Bobby D. CORDOVA-REID to score. Lovely. Guys, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Go and subscribe to Annie Harris on YouTube as well. Does some great content about championship predictions, and obviously follows his beloved Bristol City. Annie, thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate the chat, and all the best for the rest of the season after Wednesday, pal.
Sentiments are echoed, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Cheers. That is it then. The talking's done. Rest your voice for Tuesday, Jack. We need it Wednesday, mate. I will. Don't worry. My voice is like, it's just, after that Derby win, mate, my voice is gone. Gonna have to take some soothers, mate. Hopefully the lads return on Saturday. I'd love a clean sheet. So would I. Yeah, go check out the championship predictions. We set 53 likes. We've got 52 on there at the minute. So if we can set it up, go and check the championship predictions. Also hit a like on this. Hopefully the food's better than Derby. It were piss poor against Derby. If you've not seen it, go and check out. It were terrible. Absolutely terrible. The Yorkshire pudding didn't turn up for Derby, and neither did Derby County. Better Leicester said that the other. Let's see what happens then. Bristol City away on Wednesday. I'll be there. Match day vlog will be out as well. So hopefully more of the same. And we can go and sing the Jordan James chant again. Let's go.